Hello, my name is Tenny, and joining me today is Daniel Hiler, board member of FasTh Bank. Thank you for joining me today. You've had a very long career in finance, banking, and audit. Let's talk about that a little bit.
Sure, but I will be careful. If I tell you the whole and long story, you will ask me to retire fast. To be more serious, I've been in the finance industry since the 80s. I started in bank management. I was the general manager of a bank in France. During this period, I was responsible for the supervision of daily operations, budgeting, risk management. I also worked closely with the regulatory authorities. In the early 2000s, I became a senior auditor for a number of banks, commercial and central banks, including the Central Bank of Armenia. I developed a deep understanding of the banking sector in Armenia, but also in Georgia, in Kazakhstan, Russia, and in Ukraine. Finally, I've also been involved in the banking industry for with a consulting capacity. That's my long and winding road that leads to your door, as the Beatles song. I just didn't know yet that my road was leading to the FasTh Bank door.
Mr. Hiler, you were just telling me the way you found out about our company, which means you didn't know the founders personally prior to joining us. How did you get involved with FasTh Bank? I mean, what attracted you to the company?
As I told you, I've been working in the banking industry for many years and was familiar with Armenia, where I have a lot of friends and a part of my family now, as my son married an Armenian lady. I was aware of the growing demand for digital banking service in the Armenian market. So when I heard about FasTh Bank, I was interested by their project. I searched out to the founders, and we had a few but long conversations discussing the potential, the goals of the company, and my role in it. After that, I was sold on the idea and decided to join FasTh Bank.
As we are aware, FasTh Bank is going to be a new digital bank with very interesting and creative solutions. Can you please tell us a little bit about FasTh Bank's future plans?
FasTh Bank's strategy was developed based on the best practice of the world-famous digital bank model. At the same time, different approaches are also applied. The customer is the center of the business model whom we will provide individually tailored banking service with effective solutions.
You are an independent board member at FasTh Bank. Could you please share a little bit about your experience, the culture of the board, and the role of corporate governance?
I will start from the end. For me, the corporate governance is a necessary framework to a successful business. The board members have a risk framework that allows them to make informed and strategic decisions with the peace of mind that their job is really in line with best practice.
Mr. Hiler, you're also chairman of the Audit Committee. Tell us what that means and give us a scope of what the responsibilities entail.
My responsibility is to ensure that the bank is following all applicable laws, regulations, and standards, and that it is operating efficiently. I try to provide oversight and guidance to the bank's internal and external auditors and to review and approve the bank's audit plan. I'm also in charge for reviewing the bank's financial statement and all the information reported in it.
The number of visits to banks is dropping, and customers are gravitating towards using digital banking. Now, I know that there's a convenience of digital banking, but customers also require that personal touch. How is FasTh Bank going to find that balance?
Yes, and this is a challenge that interests me a lot because I believe it is so important for a digital bank. Banks have to bring the best of technology to their customer, but at the same time, they have to take care it's not at the expense of a personal and human touch. I do believe that a combination of both traditional face-to-face banking and digital banking can provide the best customer experience. At Fast Bank, we are continuously investing in the technology to improve our digital banking service while at the same time investing in our staff to ensure that customers still have access to this personal touch that is so important.
Talking about new technologies and open banking, what is Fast Bank's strategic views and plans?
The trend in the global banking sector is to offer digital banking solutions alongside traditional banking operations. At this point, I would like to highlight that Fast Bank has passed and still is facing very interesting, however difficult way to succeed its digitalization agenda. As part of the consulting service provided by Ernst & Young, the transition from the current model to the digital banking model was evaluated, and we have clear vision of this transition. But we have one very important privilege: our own banking system. Fast Bank is developing banking technologies of core banking for transition to the banking service of the new generation. We consider that open banking is the way of the future, and I'm pretty sure that the digital capabilities will bring more value to Armenian banking.
Thank you so much for joining us today. My guest was Daniel Hiler, board member at Fast Bank.